The envelope is thin, ordinary, white with a small tear on the corner, but the words inside it will split my world open. I stand in my kitchen, still in my scrubs from the night shift, coffee cooling beside me when I tear it open. The first line makes my knees go weak. Final notice. Outstanding balance, $60,000. Immediate payment required. At first, I think it's a mistake. I've never missed a bill. Not once. I worked 2 jobs for years to rebuild my life after losing my husband. I know every dollar that comes in and goes out of this house. So how could I owe $60,000? I read the letter again. Slower this time, like maybe the words will rearrange themselves into something less terrifying, but they don't. They're crisp, cold, and final. It lists my name, Denise M. Carter, and an address for a bank I've never even used. The signature at the bottom looks familiar, but not in the way it should. My own handwriting stares back at me, almost right, but not quite. The coffee spills from my hand as the truth starts to form, quiet and ugly. I sit at the table, heart thudding, and whisper the name I don't want to say out loud. Marcus, my son, the same boy I raised alone since his father died, the same boy I stayed up with during asthma attacks, who I covered in blankets when we couldn't afford heat, the same boy I prayed over every night before bed. I want to believe it's a mistake. I really do, but the sinking feeling in my gut knows better. I grab my phone and call the number listed on the letter. My hands are shaking so hard I can barely hold it steady. Thank you for calling Regional Lending, she says brightly. How may I assist you? Yes, I say, trying to sound calm. I just received a notice saying I owe $60,000, but I never... She interrupts gently. Can I have your full name and the account number, please? I give it to her. The silence on the other end stretches too long. Then she says quietly, Miss Carter, the loan was opened 9 months ago. It's in your name. There were multiple payments made, then they stopped 3 months back. 9 months ago. That's around the time Marcus said he was starting his business venture. I remember how proud he looked, telling me he had things handled. Ma'am, the woman continues, the loan application includes a scanned driver's license and signature from you. I whisper, that's not possible. I never signed anything. She sighs, sympathetic but detached. Then I'm afraid someone close to you used your information. You should contact the police immediately. The police. Against my own child. My throat tightens so hard it hurts to breathe. When I hang up, I just sit there, the letter shaking in my hand, the clock ticking too loudly in the silence. Marcus comes by later that afternoon, like nothing's wrong. Hoodie on, headphones around his neck, his same crooked smile that used to melt my heart when he was little. He hugs me, but all I can feel is the chill in my chest. Hey, Ma, he says, opening the fridge. You okay? You look tired. I stare at him, unable to form words. My mouth opens, but no sound comes. Then I manage, barely above a whisper, Marcus, what did you do? He freezes. His hand still's on the refrigerator handle. What do you mean? I slide the letter across the table toward him. He looks down. His jaw tightens. He doesn't even try to pick it up. Marcus, I say again, voice breaking, tell me you didn't. He starts talking fast. I didn't mean to. I just needed a head start. That's all. The business didn't work out, but I was going to fix it before you ever found out. Before I ever found out? I whisper. Marcus, they're threatening to take my house. He looks up then, finally meeting my eyes that look just like his father's used to. His mouth trembles. I messed up, Ma. I messed up bad. I can't even cry yet. The shock is too deep. Too raw. I just sit there, staring at the boy I raised, realizing I no longer recognize the man in front of me. The silence between us is louder than any argument could ever be. I pick up the letter again, clutch it in my hands, and walk to the window. Outside, the sun is setting, the light bleeding red across the sky. That's how it feels inside me. Something warm, turning cold, something bright, turning dark. Behind me, Marcus whispers, please, Ma, don't call the cops. I can fix this. But right now, I don't know if I can ever fix us. And as I stand there, the letter trembling in my hand, one truth echoes through my mind. Sometimes, the people you love most are the ones who teach you the hardest lessons about trust. The night stretches long, heavy with the kind of silence that fills every corner of the house. Marcus is asleep, or pretending to be. I can hear his bedroom door click shut hours ago, but I know he's not really resting.
Neither of us is. I sit on the couch in the dark, the only light coming from the street lamp outside. The letter lies on the coffee table like a living thing, breathing between us even through the walls. I keep replaying everything in my head. His first steps, his graduation, the way he hugged me at his father's funeral and said, "Don't worry, Ma. I'll take care of you one day." Now here I am, 52 years old, working double shifts as a nurse just to keep us afloat, and he's the one pulling me under. I close my eyes, but sleep won't come. All I can see is his face when I confronted him earlier, ashamed, scared, but not nearly scared enough. At dawn, I get dressed for my morning shift. The mirror shows a woman I barely recognize. Tired eyes, skin dulled from stress, edges of gray pushing through her hair. But underneath the exhaustion, there's still fire, still a mother who refuses to be broken. At work, I move through the motions, blood pressure checks, medication rounds, paperwork. But my mind isn't here. It's back home, counting the bills I might lose. My coworker, Sandra, notices. "You good, Denise?" she asks during lunch break, her tone gentle but probing. I force a smile. "Just tired, that's all." Sandra tilts her head. "Girl, you look more than tired. You look haunted." I almost tell her everything right there over our lukewarm cafeteria soup, but shame has a way of choking the truth before it reaches the air. I just say, "It's family stuff." She nods knowingly. Ain't it always? When my shift ends, I drive home slower than usual. I'm not ready to face Marcus again, not ready to hear more excuses, but when I pull into the driveway, he's already waiting on the porch, hood up, eyes red-rimmed. He stands when he sees me, guilt written all over him. "Ma, please, can we talk?" I want to walk past him, go inside, lock the door, but something in his voice, so small, so lost, makes me stop. Inside, he sits at the kitchen table, the same spot where he used to do his homework. I stay standing, arms crossed. "Ma, I'm sorry," he says. "I was desperate. I didn't know what else to do." I bite down hard on the inside of my cheek, holding back the tears that threaten to fall. "Desperate? Marcus, you lied to me. You stole from me. You put my life on the line. I was trying to help us," he blurts out. "You've been working yourself to death, Ma. I wanted to start something that could change everything for us. By breaking the law? By putting me in debt?" He drops his gaze. "I thought I could fix it before you ever found out. That's what hurts the most," I whisper. "You didn't trust me enough to come to me first." He wipes his face roughly. "I didn't want you to look at me like this." Like what? Like a failure. That word slices through me because truthfully, that's the one thing I never wanted him to feel. I worked so hard, gave up so much just to make sure he'd never feel small in this world. And yet, here we are. I sit down slowly, exhaustion washing over me. "Marcus, I don't know what to do. The bank said I could press charges." His head jerks up, panic flashing in his eyes. "You can't do that. Ma, they'll lock me up. Please, you can't." "I don't want to, but I also can't lose everything because of your choices. My house, my credit, my job, everything I've built." He pushes back from the table, pacing. "I can fix it. I'll get a job. I'll pay it back." "With what money, Marcus? You can't even pay rent on time." He slams his fist against the wall, tears brimming. "I'll figure it out." The sound echoes through the house, and I flinch. For a moment, the strong young man I raised looks like a frightened little boy again. "I'm sorry, Ma. I really am." I reach across the table, my hand trembling as it hovers near his. Sorry doesn't erase what's done, but maybe it's a start. We sit there, not talking, just breathing the same heavy air. The clock ticks between us, each second a reminder that love and betrayal can exist in the same room. Later that night, when I'm alone again, I sit at the kitchen table and open my laptop. I start researching identity theft, fraud loss, what happens when the person who wronged you shares your blood. Every article says the same thing. You must report it. But how do you report your own child? As I stare at the blinking cursor on the police website, my hands hover over the keyboard. I can almost hear Marcus's voice from his room. soft, broken, whispering a prayer I taught him when he was a little boy. I close the laptop slowly. I'm not ready. Not yet. Because right now my heart is still louder than my reason. And that's the most dangerous place a mother can be.
The first knock comes on a Tuesday morning. I'm still in my robe, halfway through my first cup of coffee, when it rattles the door like thunder. "Miss Carter," a man's voice calls out. "We need to speak with you regarding your outstanding loan." My stomach drops. I peek through the blinds. Two men in dark suits stand on the porch, clipboards in hand, eyes scanning the property like they're already deciding what to take. Behind them, a black SUV idles in the driveway, engine running. I open the door halfway. "Can I help you?" One of them, tall with a sharp jawline and that practiced calm tone that makes you feel small, flashes a badge. "Regional Lending Recovery Division. You've been sent multiple notices about a $60,000 delinquent balance. We need to verify your intent to settle before this goes to collections." I swallow hard. My mouth feels dry. "There's been a mistake," I manage. "I didn't take that loan. Someone used my name." He glances down at his clipboard. "Then you should have filed a report, ma'am. As of today, you're the legal borrower. We can work with you, but ignoring it won't make it go away." My chest tightens. I can hear Marcus's footsteps upstairs. Slow, hesitant. He's listening. "I'm working on it," I said quickly. "I just need a little time." He hands me a paper. Bold red letters shouting "Final Notice," and says, "You've got 2 weeks, Miss Carter. After that, we move forward with asset review." Asset review. That means the house. When the car drives off, I sink into the nearest chair. My hands are shaking so hard the paper rattles like dry leaves. "Ma?" Marcus's voice comes from the stairs. He looks pale, eyes rimmed with sleepless guilt. I don't even look at him. "They came to the house, Marcus. Do you understand what that means?" He nods, rubbing the back of his neck. "I'm gonna fix it. I swear, I will." "How?" I snap. "You can't even hold a job for more than a month." His jaw tightens. "I said I'll figure it out." I want to scream. Instead, I stand up and point toward the door. "You need to start figuring fast, because they're not playing games. They'll take everything." He doesn't respond, just stares at the floor like he's 12 again, waiting for me to stop being mad so he can apologize. But this time, there's no easy fix. No grounding or curfew that will make this go away. After he leaves the room, I sit back down and let the tears come. Hot, angry, endless. That night at work, I can barely focus. I'm at the nurse's station, updating charts when my coworker Sandra leans over and whispers, "You sure you okay, Dee?" I hesitate. Then I say it. Not everything, but enough. "My son, he did something bad. Took out a loan in my name. $60,000. Sandra's eyes whiten. "Lord have mercy. What are you gonna do?" I don't know. I can't turn him in, but I can't keep this up either. She places a hand on my shoulder, steady and warm. "You raised him right, Denise. But right now, you gotta protect you. You can't pour from an empty cup, honey." Her words linger long after I get home. Marcus is sitting in the living room when I walk in, a stack of papers spread out on the coffee table, job listings maybe. He looks up, eyes tired but determined. "I applied to 5 places today, even that warehouse on Jefferson. I'll take whatever they give me." I nod, surprised, but not ready to trust it yet. "I'm serious, Ma. I'll pay you back. I promise." I sit across from him. "This isn't just about money, Marcus. You broke something between us. You took my trust and cashed it like a check." He flinches. I know, and I hate myself for it. Silence fills the room again, thick and heavy. I can hear the hum of the refrigerator, the creak of the house settling, all of it louder than our words. Finally, I sigh. "You've got 2 weeks before they come back. I'll do my part. Call the bank, see if there's a way to delay things. But you have to show me you're serious. No more excuses." He nods quickly. "I will." For the first time in days, I see a flicker of the boy I used to know. Hopeful, scared, trying. It almost makes me believe him. Almost. The next morning, I call the bank. They tell me there's a payment plan available, but it would eat most of my paycheck for the next 3 years. I stare at the numbers on the screen, feeling that familiar ache behind my ribs, the one that comes from fighting too long, too hard, for too little. I hang up, and the house feels smaller. Somehow. That evening, as I'm making dinner, Marcus walks in holding a small wad of cash. It's only a few $100s, but it's a start. I'll bring more next week. I want to believe this is his turning point. I want to believe he means it. But I've been a mother long enough to know sometimes hope hurts more than the truth. Later, after he goes to bed, I sit by the window again, looking out into the night. The porch light flickers, catching on the red notice still taped to the door. My reflection in the glass looks older than I remember, worn, but still standing. I whisper to the darkness, Lord, give me strength to do what's right, even if it breaks me, because deep down, I know something he doesn't. If he doesn't fix this soon, I'll have to do it, even if it means turning my own child in. By Friday morning, the phone won't stop ringing. Every number looks unfamiliar, but I know what they are. Collectors, creditors, vultures circling over what's left of my peace. I silence it again and again, but the silence that follows feels heavier every time. The notice on the door has turned from red to brown in the November rain. Every time I walk past it, I feel a sting of humiliation, like the whole neighborhood knows what my son did. Marcus is gone most of the day now, trying to fix it. He leaves early, comes home late, his eyes hollow, voice low. I don't ask questions, partly because I'm scared of the answers. At the hospital, I'm running on fumes. My hands move automatically, changing IVs, checking vitals, but my mind is a storm. During my break, I go out to the parking lot, sit in my car, and finally open one of the voicemails. A cold voice says, "Miss Carter? This is a final courtesy call before we initiate legal proceedings." Legal. That word echoes in my ears like thunder. When I get home that evening, Marcus is pacing the living room, his phone pressed to his ear. "Yeah, I said I'll have it soon," he snaps before hanging up. "Who was that?" I ask, settling down my bag. He freezes. "Just a friend." I raise an eyebrow. "Since when do your friends sound like loan sharks?" He doesn't answer, just drops his phone on the couch and mutters, "You wouldn't understand." "Oh, I understand perfectly," I say. "You're digging deeper instead of climbing out." He looks up then, eyes blazing. "You think I want this, Ma? You think I wanted to be the one to ruin your life?" I open my mouth, but the words die in my throat, because for a moment, I see him, not the grown man standing there, but the scared little boy who used to hide behind me when thunder cracked. He sits down, elbows on his knees, hands covering his face. I'm messed up, and I'm trying to fix it, but every time I try, it just gets worse. I kneel beside him. My voice is soft, but firm. "You can't fix lies with more lies, baby. It's like trying to clean a wound with dirt." He looks at me, tears brimming. "So what do I do?" I take his hand. "You tell the truth. We go to the bank together. Maybe there's a way to negotiate before it's too late." He hesitates. "If we go to the bank, they'll call the police. Then we'll face it together," I say. My heart breaks as I speak it, but I mean it. Because pretending it's not happening isn't saving you, it's killing me. That night, I barely sleep. I keep praying, not for the debt to disappear, but for wisdom, for peace. The next morning, I wake up early, get dressed, and find Marcus sitting at the kitchen table, staring at the same letter that started all this. "Let's go," I tell him. He nods. No argument this time. At the bank, the woman behind the counter recognizes my name immediately. She pulls up my file, her expression softening as she looks at Marcus. "You're the son?" He nods, eyes on the floor. She exhales. "Miss Carter, since this was identity misuse within your family, there are two options. File a fraud claim and press charges, or assume the debt under a restructured plan." Marcus's head snaps up. "Ma, don't. I hold up my hand. What happens if I assume it? You'll be responsible for repayment, but we can reduce the interest rate and freeze the collections. And if I press charges, her tone changes. Then your son will face criminal charges. Minimum 2 years. I look at Marcus. His face is pale, his hands trembling. The air in the room feels thick, like the weight of every prayer I've ever whispered is pressing down on my chest. Marcus says, "Ma, I'll take whatever comes. Just don't ruin your life because of me." I stare at him for a long moment. The boy I raised, the man he's becoming through fire and failure. Finally, I say, "I need time to think." Back in the car, we sit in silence. Outside, the world goes on. People walking dogs, cars honking, sunlight bouncing off windshields. Life continues, even when yours feels paused. Marcus leans his head against the window. If Dad were here, he'd hate me. I glance at him. If your father were here, he'd still love you, but he'd make you face what you did. That night, while Marcus showers, I sit on the couch and open the mail. Another letter. This one from my mortgage company. My credit score has dropped. They're reviewing my payment history. My hands start shaking. I press them against my knees, whispering through tears, "Lord, please don't take my home. Not this house. Not everything I built." When Marcus comes out, I hand him the letter. He reads it and his face crumples. "Ma, I'll fix it. I swear." I shake my head. "You said that before. But this time, you're not doing it alone. You're getting help." He looks confused. "Help from who?" I meet his eyes. "A lawyer, a financial counselor, Pastor Henry, anybody who can guide us out of this mess." He nods slowly, like he's too tired to fight anymore. Later that night, when I finally close my eyes, I dream of my husband, standing in our old living room, smiling, whispering, "You're stronger than this storm." I wake up crying, whispering back, "Then why does it still hurt so much?" Because sometimes faith doesn't erase the pain. It just gives you the strength to walk through it. And as I lay there staring at the ceiling, one thought keeps me awake. If Marcus doesn't change soon, I'll have no choice left. And the next knock on my door won't be from the bank. It'll be from the law.
2 weeks slip by like fog, and every day feels heavier than the last. My paychecks disappear the moment they land. The rent, the utilities, the grocery bill, each one a reminder that I'm carrying a debt I never created. The collectors have stopped calling so often, but that's not a comfort. It just means they're waiting, watching. Marcus has been quieter lately, too quiet. He says he's working nights at the warehouse, but his hours don't add up. His eyes are red, his hands shake sometimes, and he avoids my gaze whenever I ask how he's holding up. Something inside me knows. I just don't want to face it yet. One evening, I get home from the hospital after a 12-hour shift. The house smells faintly of smoke, something burnt, faint, but sharp. My stomach drops. "Marcus?" I call. No answer. I walk through the living room, then the kitchen. The back door's cracked open. Outside, under the dim porch light, Marcus stands by the trash can, stuffing a pile of papers into a black bag. "Marcus!" I call again. He jumps, the bag slipping from his hands. Hey, you scared me. What are you doing out here?" "Just cleaning up," he says too quickly. I step closer. My eyes fall on one of the papers half sticking out of the bag. I recognize the letterhead instantly. Regional Lending. "Marcus?" I say softly, dangerously calm. "What are you throwing away?" He freezes. "Nothing important." I grab the bag before he can stop me and dump it out on the ground. Dozens of crumpled documents spill across the porch. Loan statements, rejection letters, and something worse. Receipts, cash transfers, pawn tickets. "Marcus!" My voice trembles. "What did you do?" He stares at the ground, shame rolling off him like heat. "I sold some stuff, Ma, just until I could pay back a little." "What stuff?" He hesitates, then whispers, "Your jewelry, some electronics, the TV." My heart stops. "You sold my wedding ring?" His eyes flick up, wet with guilt. "I was gonna buy it back, I swear." "Marcus!" My voice breaks. "That was your father's! That's all I have left of him!" He steps forward, reaching for me, but I back away. My whole body is shaking. "You lied to me again. You said you were working to make things right."
am, he shouts, tears streaming down his face. But nothing I do is enough. Every door keeps closing and I keep thinking maybe God's done with me. I feel something deep in my chest crack. Don't you dare talk like that. You think you're the only one who's been tired? You think you're the only one who's been broken? He wipes his face roughly. I know I'm trash, okay? I know I ruined everything. Stop. My voice softens, trembling. You're not trash. You're my son, but I can't save you if you keep lying to me. The porch light flickers as the wind picks up. We stand there, two shadows in the night, love and disappointment twisting between us. Finally, he whispers, I'll make it right, Ma. I promise. Just give me one more chance. I want to believe him, but the word promise has lost its meaning in this house. That night, after he goes to bed, I sit at the kitchen table staring at the empty space where my wedding ring used to rest. My chest aches like it's been hollowed out. I think about calling the pawn shop. Maybe I can buy it back. Maybe I can still salvage one piece of what he's broken. But then I remember the bills stacked beside me, each one waiting like a wolf at the door. There's nothing left to give. I fall asleep right there at the table, my head resting on my folded arms and the glow of the streetlight spilling through the blinds like faded hope. When I wake up, it's still dark. I hear the front door creak open, soft footsteps, and then it clicks shut again. I rush to the window. Marcus is walking down the street, hoodie up, moving fast. Too fast. I grab my keys and follow, heart pounding. He turns the corner into the parking lot behind the old gas station. A black car idles there, headlights off. Two men get out. They look familiar. My stomach sinks. The same suits from the bank. I stay hidden behind a fence, watching, praying I'm wrong. Marcus hands one of them a small envelope. The man opens it, counts the money, and says something I can't hear. Marcus nods, his shoulders slumped, then walks away. The men get back in the car and drive off. I want to scream, want to run to him and demand answers, but I already know he's trying to make payments to fix what he broke, but in the wrong way, with the wrong people. When he comes home, I'm waiting in the living room. Where were you? I ask. He hesitates, then lies. Warehouse shift. I stare at him. Don't do that. Not anymore. Not to me. His eyes flicker, shame written all over his face. You followed me? I'm your mother, I say quietly, and I'm scared of where this road is leading you. He drops his head, burying his face in his hands. I sit beside him. For a moment, neither of us speaks. The only sound is the hum of the refrigerator and the quiet breaking of our hearts. I'll call Pastor Henry tomorrow, I say softly. He helps with debt counseling. Maybe he can talk to the bank. He nods weakly. Okay, but as I look at him, this boy I raised, this man who's drowning in mistakes, I feel something shift inside me. Maybe this isn't just about money anymore. Maybe it's about saving his soul. And I don't know if I'm strong enough to do both.
Sunday morning feels heavier than usual. The air is thick. Gray clouds press against the sky, and even the church bells sound tired. I sit in the last pew, hands clasped so tight my knuckles ache. It's been 3 days since I caught Marcus meeting those men. He's been quiet since. Helpful around the house, polite even, but I know that kind of calm. It's the stillness before something breaks. When service ends, I wait until the crowd thins before I approach Pastor Henry. He's an older man with kind eyes, the sort that have seen too much, but still choose to believe in people. Denise, he says, smiling gently, you've been scarce lately. Everything all right? I shake my head. Not really, Pastor. I need your help. He leads me into his office, closes the door, and gestures for me to sit. The walls are lined with books, framed scriptures, and photos of happier times. The room smells faintly of cedar and coffee. I tell him everything. The loan, the collectors, the pondering, the men in suits at the gas station. He listens quietly, nodding now and then, his hands folded on the desk. When I finish, he lets out a long, heavy sigh. You've carried this burden alone for too long, he says softly. You did the right thing coming here. I don't know if there's a right thing anymore. I whisper. If I press charges, my son could go to jail. If I don't, they'll take my home. I'm trapped, Pastor. He leans forward. You're not trapped, Denise.
peace. But you do need to see the situation clearly. Marcus isn't a child anymore. Sometimes love means letting someone face the consequences they've earned. I look away, blinking hard. He's my baby. How do I turn him in? By remembering that protecting him from the truth isn't saving him. It's just postponing his fall. The words hit me like a blow. He hands me a pamphlet. Debt Fraud Mediation. Legal Steps for Victims of Family Forgery. The kind of paper you never imagine needing. He says, I can refer you to someone who handles cases like this quietly. They'll help you file a report and protect your credit. You can tell them you don't want him arrested, just the debt removed from your record. I nod, numb. Before he leaves, he adds one more thing. Keep an eye on those men you saw him with. If they're who I think they are, this isn't just a bank issue anymore. What do you mean? He hesitates. Some of those collection groups aren't official. They prey on people who owe money and use fear to collect. They could be dangerous. My blood runs cold. When I get home, Marcus is on the couch watching TV, pretending everything's normal. He turns down the volume when I walk in. Hey, Ma. You okay? I study him for a long moment. I went to see Pastor Henry. He tenses. About me? Yes, about us. He groans, leaning back. Ma, I told you I'd handle it. I know what I saw, Marcus. Those weren't bank collectors. Who are they? He rubs his face, exasperated. Just some guys who said they could help. They buy debt or something. I thought if I paid them off little by little, it would go away. They're not helping you, I snap. They're using you. And if you don't stop, they'll come for more than money next time. He slams his hand on the table. What do you want me to do, Ma? I'm drowning. Every job I apply for wants a background check. Every dollar I make goes to interest I didn't even spend. I was trying to fix it so you wouldn't have to. His voice breaks on that last word. You. I feel my anger dissolve, replaced by something softer, sadder. You can't save me by destroying yourself, baby. He sinks back into the couch, eyes glistening. I don't know how to stop. I sit beside him, gently take his hand. We'll go to the police tomorrow. Tell them everything. We'll make it right together. He shakes his head violently. No cops, Ma. Please. You don't understand. Then make me understand. He opens his mouth, hesitates, then closes it again. His silence tells me everything. There's more. Something deeper. Before I can press him, there's a knock at the door. 3 sharp bangs that make us both freeze. Marcus stiffens, his eyes wide with panic. Don't answer it. Marcus, who is it? Just please, Ma, don't. The knocking comes again. Harder this time. I step toward the door, heart pounding, but he grabs my arm. I'm serious. You open that door and we're both dead. Dead. The word chills me to the bone. The knocking stops. Silence. Then footsteps fade down the porch. I wait for a full minute before whispering, Marcus, what did you get yourself into? He's pale, trembling. It's not just the loan, Ma. I borrowed more from people who don't forgive late payments. My stomach drops. How much? He hesitates. Another 20, maybe 30. $30,000? My voice cracks. Marcus. Tears streak his face. I thought I could double it. A friend said there was a way. Some crypto thing. It all went wrong. I cover my mouth, trying to breathe. The room feels like it's closing in. He whispers, if they come back, don't talk to them. Please, just stay inside. I grab his shoulders. No, you listen to me. You're my son. I don't care how deep this goes. I'm not letting them destroy you. He looks at me with those same eyes he had as a boy, full of fear and love and something broken in between. You can't save me from this one, Ma. Outside, thunder rolls across the sky, and somewhere deep in my chest, I know this isn't just about debt anymore. It's about survival.
It starts with headlights. I see them slicing through the blinds just past midnight. 2 sharp beams crawling slowly across the living room walls. My heart skips. I know that sound. That slow, deliberate idle. They've come back. Marcus is asleep upstairs, or at least pretending to be. I can hear the faint creak of his bed as he shifts, restless. I step quietly to the front window and peek through the gap in the curtain. The same black SUV, the same two men, but this time they're not holding clipboards. They're holding flashlights. I pull my robe tighter around me and whisper a prayer under my breath. Lord, keep us safe. My hands are trembling so hard I can barely hold the phone. I dial Marcus's number, but it goes straight to voicemail. Then the knock comes, harder this time, echoing through the whole house. Open up, Miss Carter. We just want to talk. The voice isn't polite anymore. It's cold, sharp, impatient. I step back from the door. Go away, I shout, my voice shaken. You have no right to be here. Another knock, louder. We're not here for you, lady. Tell Marcus to come outside. He knows why we're here. My blood runs cold. He's not home. The man laughs, dark, low, knowing. He's always home. Don't play with me. Then silence. I don't hear the car engine. I don't hear footsteps. Just the quiet hum of the fridge and the ticking of the wall clock. I grab the baseball bat I keep behind the door and press my ear to the wood. Nothing. Then a whisper from behind me. Ma? I turn. Marcus stands at the top of the stairs, shirtless, pale, his face slick with sweat. They found me. He whispers. Who are they, Marcus? I demand in a harsh whisper. Tell me the truth. He hesitates. They call themselves the Fifth Street Group. I borrowed from them after the crypto deal went bad. I thought I could flip the money and pay it back before they noticed. How much? He looks down. 40,000. I almost dropped the bat. Lord Jesus, he says, I didn't mean for this to happen. They said they'd help me get out of debt. They didn't say they'd start showing up at your house. Get your things, I say suddenly. Now, we're leaving. He blinks. Where? To the police. To anyone who can protect us. He grabs my arm. Ma, please, you don't understand. They have people everywhere. If I go to the cops, they'll... A crash cuts him off. The back window shatters. We both freeze. Someone's inside. I grab his hand. Upstairs, now. We rush up the stairs, my heart pounding like a drum. I lock us in my bedroom, push the dresser against the door. My hands are shaking so badly I can barely hold the phone. I dial 911. 911, what's your emergency? This is Denise Carter. Someone broke into my house. Please hurry. Ma'am, stay on the line. Where are you located? Before I can answer, there's a loud bang against the door downstairs, followed by muffled voices. Marcus paces, running his hands through his hair. Oh God, I'm so sorry, Ma. Don't talk, I hiss. Just stay quiet. The footsteps move closer, slow and deliberate, like they're savoring the fear. Then a voice calls out from below. Marcus! You think you can hide behind your mama forever? Marcus stiffens. They're not gonna hurt you, he whispers. They just want the money. Do you have the money? I snap. He looks away. Another crash. This time the front door. It gives way. My breath catches. I clutch the phone tighter. They're in the house, I whisper to the dispatcher. Officers are en route, she says calmly. Stay where you are. But Marcus doesn't stay. He suddenly grabs the bat from my hands. I'll go down. I'll tell them I'll find the money. Marcus, no. He looks at me, eyes wide with guilt and fear. You always protected me, Ma. Let me do it for once. Before I can stop him, he's out the door. I hear him shout downstairs. I'm here, man. Don't touch her. They're shouting. Two men, angry, demanding. Then a thud, another. Marcus! I scream, running after him. I reach the bottom of the stairs just as the police lights flash through the broken window. The men scatter, sprinting through the back door. One of them shoves Marcus against the wall before disappearing into the night. I drop to my knees beside him. Marcus, baby, talk to me. He's breathing, barely. His lip is split, blood trickling from his temple. I'm sorry, he gasped. I was trying to fix it. I cradle his head in my lap, crying so hard I can't see. You don't fix a wound by cutting it deeper, baby. You let it heal. The officers rush in, shouting commands, sweeping through the house. When one of them asks what happened, I look at him and say, voice trembling, they came for a debt that wasn't even mine. Hours later, after they've taken our statements and the paramedics have checked Marcus, the house is quiet again. Glass crunches under my feet as I walk to the front door. The night air feels heavy, tainted with fear and smoke from the shattered frame. Marcus sits on the couch, silent, his face swollen and eyes empty. What now? He whispers. I stare at the mess.
my home, my life, both cracked open like that window. Now, I say, we stop running. He looks up. You mean the police? I nod. Tomorrow morning, we go to the station. No more secrets. He looks down, defeated. They're not gonna stop, Ma. You don't know these people. I meet his eyes. They don't know me because somewhere between the loans and the lies, the woman I used to be, the one who believed in patience and quiet prayers, has turned into someone else. Someone who will fight for her life, her peace, and her son's soul. But deep down, I can still feel it. The storm isn't over. It's just beginning.
Morning comes heavy. The sun barely filters through the blinds, and the air smells faintly of broken glass and bleach. I've been up all night cleaning blood off the floor, sweeping up shards from the window, trying to hold the house together like if I just keep moving, everything will stop spinning. Marcus sits at the kitchen table, head bowed, hands clasped. He hasn't said much since the break-in. His right eye is bruised, a deep purple bloom spreading across his cheekbone. I pour him a cup of coffee. Drink this, he mumbles, thanks, but doesn't touch it. We sit in silence until I finally say, we're going to the police today. He looks up, panic flaring. Ma, no, you can't. Marcus, they broke into my home. They attacked you. This is not negotiable. He pushes back from the table, pacing. You don't get it. If I talk, they'll come back worse. They got my address, your job, everything. They know where to find us. Then we let the police protect us. He lets out a bitter laugh. Protect us? They can't even protect themselves. These people pay off whoever they need. You think a few cops can stop them? His words cut deep because part of me knows he's not wrong. But I can't live like this, locked in fear, waiting for another knock. I'm not scared of them, I say quietly. He stops pacing. You should be. I meet his gaze. I'm scared of what happens to you if we do nothing. He doesn't respond. He just sits back down, rubbing his temples like he's trying to erase the last few months. 2 hours later, we're sitting in the police station. The fluorescent lights hum overhead. The air smells like old paper and cold coffee. Detective Riley, a tall black woman in her 40s with tired eyes and a tone that says she's seen too much, takes our statement. I hand her every document I have, the loan letters, the collection notices, even the pamphlet from Pastor Henry. When we finish, she leans back and exhales. Miss Carter, I wish I could tell you this is uncommon. We've seen an uptick in family forged loans and predatory lenders using intimidation to collect. Are these men part of a real company? I ask. She shakes her head. No. They're a front. We've been trying to trace their operations for months. They operate out of Detroit, move through fake loan offices, and disappear before we can pin them down. Marcus looks up, anxious. So what happens now? She turns to him. You filed under your mother's name, correct? He swallows hard. Yeah, we can process this as a fraud case, but the system still sees her as the borrower. We'll need to officially identify you as the perpetrator to clear her record. He flinches like she slapped him. Meaning I get charged? She nods slowly. Legally, yes, but your cooperation would help. You could avoid jail if we prove you were coerced or manipulated by this group. I jump in, desperate. He was desperate, detective. He wasn't thinking. He's not a criminal. He's my son. Her eyes soften. I understand, but the paper trail doesn't care about intentions. Marcus mutters, forget it. I'll figure it out myself. He stands, ready to leave. Marcus! I reach for his arm, but he pulls away. Riley says calmly, son, running won't help. These men will squeeze you until there's nothing left. Let us help. He glares at her. Help? The cops show up late, file reports, and move on. You can't help. He storms out before I can stop him. The glass door swings shut, his silhouette fading into the sunlit parking lot. I stand there, torn between chasing him or collapsing. Riley puts a hand on my shoulder. He's scared. Give him a little time. But you, stay somewhere safe. We'll have a patrol swing by tonight. I nod, though I know I won't sleep anyway. When I get home, the house feels emptier than ever. Marcus's keys are gone. His room is stripped of anything important. No laptop, no backpack, nothing. He's gone. I find a note on the counter, scrawled in his messy handwriting. Ma, I'm sorry. Don't call me.
Don't look for me. I'll fix this my way. My hands shake as I read it. My way never means something good. I call his phone straight to voicemail. Again and again, nothing. By evening, Pastor Henry stops by. He looks around the house, sees the boarded up window, the police tape across the back door. Lord have mercy, he murmurs. He's gone, I tell him, my voice cracking. He ran. He sits beside me at the table. Denise, you did what you could, but now you have to let go. I stare at the note again. How do you let go of your own child when he's out there making deals with devils? He sighs. Sometimes the only way a man learns to stand is when the ground beneath him finally gives out. I cry quietly, my hands pressed against my face. I can't lose him. Pastor, he says softly, you won't, but you might have to lose the illusion that you can save him. Later that night, as I'm about to turn in, my phone buzzes. Unknown number. I answer. Hello? A familiar male voice on the other end, low and mocking. Mrs. Carter, you raised a brave boy. Shame he doesn't know when to quit. My throat tightens. Who is this? He chuckles. Tell Marcus the clock's ticking. 48 hours. We collect what's ours, or we take it another way.
I don't sleep. I sit on the edge of my bed, phone in my hand, replaying that voice over and over. The calm menace in it, the unspoken promise. We take it another way. By sunrise, my nerves are shredded. I call every contact Marcus has ever had. His old roommate, his boss from the auto shop, even his ex-girlfriend, Tiana. Nobody's seen him. Tiana finally texts back around 10 a.m. He came by last night and said he needed quick cash. Looked scared. Said he was heading to the docks. The docks. The words make my heart seize. That's where the worst deals happen. Dark corners, men in shadows, promises paid for in blood. I grab my purse, throw on my jacket, and head out. My hands are trembling so badly that I drop my car keys twice before getting them in the ignition. As I drive, my mind spins through every version of my son. The smiling boy who used to help me make pancakes on Saturday mornings. The young man who carried his father's coffin at 17 with tears in his eyes. The lost soul sitting at my kitchen table begging me to believe him. And now, the man in trouble I can barely recognize. When I reach the docks, the wind hits hard, salty and cold. I pull my coat tight and start scanning. The place smells like oil and damp wood. A couple of fishermen glance my way, but no Marcus. Then, near a row of storage units, I spot him. He's pacing, phone pressed to his ear, a duffel bag slung over his shoulder. My heart jumps. Marcus! I call out. He freezes, then turns. His eyes widen. Guilt, fear, love, all mixing together. Ma, what are you doing here? I could ask you the same thing, I say, walking toward him. You think I just sit at home waiting for bad news? He sighs, rubbing his face. I told you not to come. Well, I'm here, and you're not walking into anything else without me knowing what it is. He looks away. I'm meeting them. I gotta hand over some money, that's all. Money from where? He hesitates. I pawned some stuff, sold my car, borrowed from a guy I used to work with. It's not enough, but it'll buy me time. Marcus, stop! I grab his arm. You can't negotiate with people like that. They don't want money, they want control. He pulls away. Ma, please, if I don't try, they'll come for you. I step closer, gripping his face with both hands. Baby, listen to me. You don't fix pain with more pain. You let me help. He shakes his head. No, you already lost enough because of me. Before I can respond, a black SUV turns the corner. Marcus stiffens. Go, now. Marcus, go, Ma. The SUV stops 20 feet away. Two men get out, the same ones from before. One tall and thin, the other stocky with a scar along his jaw. Marcus, the tall one says, smiling like a snake, you've been hard to reach. Marcus steps in front of me. I got some of the money. The man smirks. Some?
That's not what we agreed. I just need more time. The shorter man spits on the ground. We gave you time. Now we collect. The tall one's gaze slides to me. And look who's here. The famous Miss Carter. Brave woman calling the cops and all. My stomach twists. What do you want? He grins. 60 plus 40, sweetheart. Simple math. 100 grand or something of equal value. I glare. You're not getting another penny. He chuckles. Didn't say it had to be money. Marcus steps forward, voice cracking. Leave her out of this. The tall man's smile fades. Then pay up. Marcus opens the duffel, pulling out stacks of small bills. It's 25 grand. That's all I could get. The man laughs, slow, cruel. You think this is a game? You think we're some payday loan office? He snatches the bag and dumps it on the ground, bills scattering into the wind. Then, before I can blink, he grabs Marcus by the collar and slams him against the SUV. Stop! I scream, rushing forward. The shorter man blocks me, his hand pressing against my shoulder like a wall. Stay out of it, lady. I shove him, surprising even myself. You touch him again and I swear. The tall man laughs and shoves Marcus harder. Maybe I should take your mama's house. That'll settle things quick. Something inside me snaps. I grab the nearest thing I can, a heavy wrench from a crate beside me, and swing. It connects with the tall man's arm. He howls, dropping Marcus. The shorter man lunges toward me, but Marcus tackles him to the ground. They scuffle, fists flying, curses echoing off the metal containers. Sirens. Somewhere close. The tall man stumbles back, clutching his bleeding arm. This ain't over, he growls. You just signed your own eviction notice. They jump back into the SUV and tear off, tires screeching against the gravel. I drop the wrench, my whole body shaking. Marcus is on his knees, breathing hard, blood on his lip, but alive. Ma, what did you do? I grab his face, tears spilling down. I did what any mother would do. The sirens grow louder, red and blue lights flashing in the distance. When the police arrive, they separate us, question us, take photos. A paramedic tends to Marcus's bruises while I sit on the curb, staring at the duffel bag, the bills fluttering in the wind like fallen leaves. Detective Riley appears again, walking briskly toward me. You called it in. I nod. They came for him again. She sighs, rubbing her forehead. We'll get them, Miss Carter, but it's going to take time. They operate under different names every month. I look at her, my voice breaking. I don't have time. They said 48 hours. She kneels beside me. Then we'll move faster. That night, after hours of statements and paperwork, we're finally allowed to go home. The house feels smaller, quieter. Marcus sits on the couch, bandaged and broken. You shouldn't have hit him, Ma. I look at him, exhaustion heavy in my bones. And you shouldn't have put me in this position. Silence. And then he whispers, I'm gonna fix it for real this time. I turn to him, tears in my eyes. You keep saying that, but the only way to fix this is to stop running. Turn yourself in. Tell them everything. He stares at the floor, jaw clenched. Maybe when I go to bed, I can't shake the feeling that something isn't right. His voice sounded too calm, too final. At 3 a.m., I wake to the sound of the front door closing. Marcus is gone again, but this time I feel it deep in my bones. He's not coming back unless I bring him home myself.
The house is too quiet, too still. That kind of silence that feels like a warning, not peace. The moment I realize Marcus is gone again, the air feels heavy, almost suffocating. His room is empty, drawers half open, clothes missing. The old photo of us from the fair turned face down on the dresser. I press my hand to my chest. No, baby, not again. Not like this. His phone's still on the nightstand. That's the worst sign of all. There's only one thing on his pillow, a note
scribbled on lined paper, edges torn. The handwriting looks rushed. Ma, I'm sorry. I can't let them hurt you. I'm going to end this my way. Please don't call the cops. I'll be fine. I love you. My knees give out. The paper shakes in my hands. I love you, I whisper. Then why are you doing this? I grab my phone anyway and call Detective Riley. When she answers, I can barely form words. He's gone again. He left a note. He said he's going to end this his way. Riley's voice sharpens. We'll send a unit to your address. Stay there, Miss Carter. No, I can't just sit here. Denise, if he's walking into danger, you need backup. But I'm already grabbing my coat. Then meet me on the way. I drive through the empty streets of Baltimore, dawn creeping up behind me, painting the city in gray and blue. Every traffic light feels like a lifetime. I check every place I can think of. The park where Marcus used to shoot hoops after work. The diner where he'd take his friends for cheap burgers. The alley behind the mechanic shop. Nothing. Then my phone buzzes. It's an unknown number. Your boy's at the pier again. Alone. Better hurry if you want to say goodbye. No name, no emoji, just that. My heart pounds so hard, I can hear it in my ears. When I reach the pier, it's still dark, fog curling off the water like smoke. I see a figure standing at the edge. Marcus, hands in his pockets, staring down into the waves. Marcus! He turns. Eyes swollen, face pale from the cold. Ma, you shouldn't be here. I told you I'm not leaving you again. He looks away. They said if I don't fix this, they'll come after you next. I can't let that happen. Baby, you can't fix something that's broken with more pain. Please. Just turn yourself in. Tell Detective Riley everything. She'll protect us. He laughs bitterly. Protect us? Ma, they don't protect people like me. You know that. I'll go to jail and you'll lose everything anyway. I take a step closer. You think I care about money? You're my child. You're all I have left. His voice cracks. And I ruined you. He pulls something from his pocket, a small folded paper. I think it's another note, but when he opens it, I see the edge of a photo. It's him as a boy, sitting on his father's shoulders, both of them smiling wide. I miss him, Marcus whispers. I miss when things were simple, when I didn't have to be scared all the time. I reach out and take his hand. It's trembling. Then come home. We'll face it together. That's when I see the SUV, the same black one, rolling slowly down the pier, headlights off. Marcus, I say quietly, we need to go. He looks behind me, eyes widening. It's too late. The SUV stops. The two men step out, tall, scarred, and smirking. The shorter one holds something shiny under his jacket. Well, the tall man says, how sweet. A family reunion. I pull Marcus behind me. Leave him alone. He'll pay you back every cent. The man chuckles. You really don't get it, do you? This ain't about money anymore. Detective Riley's voice echoes from somewhere behind. Police! Drop your weapons! And everything happens at once. The tall man grabs Marcus. The other pulls a gun. I scream. Riley shouts again. Two more officers appear from the side of the pier. Marcus struggles. Ma, get down! The gun goes off. The sound rips through the morning air like thunder. I drop to the ground, covering my head, hard in my throat. The smell of salt and gunpowder fills the air. When I look up, Marcus is on his knees, clutching his shoulder. Blood blooms through his jacket. Marcus! I crawl toward him. Stay with me, baby. Stay with me. The police tackle the men to the ground, yelling, handcuffs clattering, boots pounding the wood. Riley rushes to me. He's hit. We've got an ambulance coming. I press my hands to his wound, my tears falling onto his chest. You're okay. You're okay. I repeat, though my voice is shaking. Just hold on, baby. Marcus looks up at me. His voice is a whisper. I'm sorry, Ma. Don't you dare close your eyes. You hear me? You fight. His breath shudders, but he nods weakly. When the paramedics arrive, everything becomes noise. Sirens, orders, wheels rolling. I climb into the ambulance beside him, gripping his hand so tightly my fingers ache. Riley leans in through the door. They'll both face charges. You did the right thing. I shake my head, tears streaming. It doesn't feel right. As the doors close, I look at my son, pale, fragile, but alive. And in that moment, I realize something. I can't save him from his consequences, but I can still save him from despair. The hospital smells like antiseptic and hope. Hours later, after surgery, a doctor finally comes out and says, "He's stable." Those 2 words nearly bring me to my knees. When I see him in recovery, he's asleep. Machines beeping softly, I sit beside him and take his hand. "Baby," I whisper, "we made it through the storm, but now you gotta help rebuild what's left." His eyelids flatter just a little. "Ma, I'm here, always." Outside, the sun rises, golden light pouring through the window, touching his face. For the first time in months, I let myself breathe. But deep down, I know this isn't the end. It's just the start of the hardest part: forgiveness, truth, and the slow rebuilding of a life that nearly drowned. And this time, I'm not running from the pain. I'm walking through it, step by step, until the light feels like home again.
Hospitals have a way of humbling you. The beeping monitors, the antiseptic sting, the thin curtains that pretend to give privacy. They all strip you down to what's real. For me, what's real is sitting in this narrow chair by Marcus's bed, holding his hand as he sleeps. His face looks softer now, like he's a little boy again, dreaming about superheroes instead of running from loan sharks. I brush my fingers over his knuckles. "You're safe, baby. That's all that matters." The door opens quietly. Detective Riley steps in, wearing the same dark blazer as before, her expression gentle but serious. "Morning, Miss Carter. How's he doing?" "He's hanging on. They said no permanent damage if he takes it slow." "Good. He's lucky." Her tone makes my stomach twist. "You're not just here to check on him, are you?" She sighs, folding her arms. "The DA's office wants to move forward. They've officially linked the fraudulent loans to Marcus's name. The lenders he got tangled with are cooperating to cut their own sentences. We have enough to press charges: identity fraud, forgery, and aiding a criminal operation." I close my eyes. "He's just a kid who made a mistake." "He's 27, Miss Carter. Not a kid. I know this is hard, but you need to understand, without your statement, the bank won't drop your liability. They still consider you responsible for the $60,000. Her words hit me like cold water. "You mean if I don't testify against him, I have to pay the debt?" She nods. "That's how the system works." I feel dizzy, gripping the chair arm to steady myself. "So either I lose my son or my home." Her voice softens. "Sometimes doing the right thing hurts both ways." When she leaves, I stare at Marcus's face, so peaceful, unaware that the walls of our lives are closing in again. By afternoon, Pastor Henry visits. He brings food I can't eat and scripture I can't focus on. He sits beside me, reading from Psalms until I finally interrupt him. "Pastor," I whisper, "how do you forgive someone when the wound is still bleeding?" He closes the Bible slowly. Forgiveness doesn't mean pretending the pain didn't happen. It means choosing not to let it control what happens next. I shake my head. He used my name, my credit, my trust. I could lose everything, and I still can't hate him. "That's because you're a mother," he says gently. "But don't confuse love with rescue. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is let someone face the truth." That night, Marcus wakes up for the first time since surgery. His eyes flutter open, and he tries to speak. "Hey, baby," I whisper, leaning in. His voice is weak. "Ma, what happened?" "You were shot, but you're safe now. The men who hurt you are in custody." He blinks slowly, tears forming. "I didn't mean for it to go that far. I just wanted to make it right. I thought if I got them their money back." I put my hand over his. "You can't fix something built on a lie, Marcus." He starts to cry. "I ruined your life, the house, your job, everything. I should have gone to jail months ago." "Don't talk like that." "But it's true," he says, voice breaking. "You worked your whole life to keep me safe, and I betrayed you."
I don't deserve your forgiveness. I swallow the lump in my throat. You don't have to deserve it. I give it because I can't carry hate anymore. His tears fall faster. They said you'll have to testify. I know. Then do it, he says quietly. Don't protect me. I can't keep watching you lose pieces of yourself because of me. If I go down, at least it'll mean something. Don't you dare say that, I whisper fiercely. You're my son. I can't just... Ma, please, he interrupts. You taught me to take responsibility. If I walk away from this again, I'll never be the man Dad wanted me to be. I sit there in silence, torn open by love and duty. His father's ghost feels heavy in the room. The next morning, I go to the bank. The manager, Mr. Aldridge, sits across from me with a stack of papers. If you provide a statement confirming Marcus forged your name, we'll transfer the liability and remove your debt within 60 days. Otherwise, foreclosure proceedings begin next quarter. I stare at the forms. My hand trembles as I reach for the pen. Miss Carter, he asks softly. I sign my name. Each stroke feels like a betrayal, wrapped in justice. When I return to the hospital, Marcus is awake, watching TV quietly. I sit beside him and take his hand. I sign the papers. He nods slowly. Good, that's what you needed to do. I did it for both of us, so maybe we can start again, clean. He squeezes my fingers weakly. Ma, thank you. I kiss his forehead. Don't thank me yet. You've got a long road ahead, but I'll be right beside you every step of the way. The sun sets outside his window, painting the room in warm orange light. For the first time, the silence between us isn't heavy. It's peace, fragile, but real. Still, deep down, I know tomorrow brings new battles, court dates, debt collectors, and the long process of healing what's been shattered. But as I look at my son breathing softly, I whisper to myself, we survived the worst. Now it's time to rebuild.
It's been 3 months since the shooting. 3 long, quiet months that feel like both a lifetime and a breath. The courthouse smells of polished wood and nerves. I sit on the hard bench outside courtroom 3B, my hands folded in my lap, praying the way my mama taught me. Slow, steady, honest. Marcus sits beside me, wearing the same suit we bought for his father's funeral. He's thinner now, the softness in his face replaced by something older, steadier. His hand trembles slightly, but he's holding himself together. He leans over and whispers, "You don't have to stay inside, Ma. I'll be fine." I shake my head. I didn't come this far to sit it out in the hallway. He tries to smile, but it fades quick. "I just don't want you to see me like this." "Baby," I say, my voice low and certain. "I've seen you at your worst, your weakest, and your most lost. This isn't that. This is you taking your power back." He swallows hard, eyes glistening. "Then let's do this." When they call his name, we stand together. The judge, a woman in her 60s with silver hair and kind eyes, reads through the charges. Identity theft, fraud, obstruction. The words sound heavy, but she delivers them gently, like she knows the weight they carry. The prosecutor lays out the facts. How Marcus used my name to take out a $60,000 loan, how he got mixed up with predatory lenders, how he nearly got himself killed trying to make things right. Then it's my turn. They call me to the stand. The oath feels heavier than I expect, the Bible cold in my palm. "Miss Carter," the prosecutor begins, "can you describe your relationship with the defendant?" "He's my son," I say softly. "And are you aware of the loan taken in your name?" "I am now." "Did you authorize it?" I take a deep breath. "No, I didn't." "And how has this affected your life?" The words tumble out. My ruined credit, the fear, the nights I didn't sleep, wondering if I'd lose the house my husband built with his hands, the lies, the pain, the way love feels like both a gift and a chain. But then I add, and yet, I still thank God for giving me the strength to forgive, because forgiveness isn't weakness, it's survival. The courtroom goes quiet. Even the judge looks moved. When the defense attorney stands, she asks gently, "Miss Carter, do you believe your son intended to harm you?" "No," I say firmly. "He was desperate, and desperation makes good people do bad things. But he's owning it now. He's trying to make it right. The judge nods slowly. Thank you, Miss Carter. You may step down. When Marcus stands for sentencing, his voice is clear, steady. Your Honor, I take full responsibility. I made choices that hurt my mother and myself. I can't change what I did, but I can change who I become. I just want a chance to prove that. The judge studies him for a long moment. Then she says, Mr. Carter, your honesty will serve you more than any lawyer could. I'm sentencing you to 18 months of probation, mandatory financial counseling, and community service. Consider this a second chance. Don't waste it. I can't breathe for a second. Then tears fill my eyes, not out of sadness, but relief. When we walk out of the courthouse, the sun feels different, warmer, lighter, like it's finally shining for us, not on us. Marcus exhales deeply as if he'd been holding his breath for years. Ma. It's over. I look at him and smile. No, baby. It's just beginning. He laughs softly, and for the first time in years, it sounds real. Later that evening, we stand outside the small apartment we're renting while I rebuild my finances. It isn't much, but it's home. Marcus helps me hang a picture, the same one he once turned face down. Our family, before everything broke, before the lies and the fear. As he hammers the nail into the wall, I whisper, you know what I realized through all this? He glances at me. What? That love doesn't mean keeping someone from falling. It means sitting beside them when they hit the ground and still believing they can stand up again. He looks down, voice soft. You never gave up on me. I touch his cheek. A mother's love bends, but it doesn't break. That night, I sit by the window, watching the city lights flicker like tiny promises. My heart is tired, but it's steady. We've lost so much: money, pride, trust, but we've gained something harder to measure: truth and peace. I turn on my camera, the one I use for my little video diary, and start to speak. Not as a victim, not as a broken woman, but as someone who made it through the storm. My name is Denise Carter, and I learned that love means protecting your child, but wisdom means protecting your peace. Life will test you, but if you hold on to grace, you can rise again. I pause, tears glimmering in my eyes, then add with a small smile. If you learned something new from my life story, please like this video, subscribe for more stories like mine, and comment down below where you're watching this video from. I truly would love to know. The camera light blinks red, then fades to black. Outside, the night hums quietly, and for the first time in a long, long time, I feel free.